This video provides an overview of English 1, weeks 8 and 9. Students in English 1 are reading William Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet. You'll remember that we've been asking ourselves, how can performing the text, and performance in general, help us to understand Romeo and Juliet as a play, Romeo and Juliet as characters, and Romeo and Juliet's relationship? In week 8, you're going to spend time studying a soliloquy from Act 4, Scene 3, in which Juliet shares her current thinking on Romeo and Juliet's plan and her relationship with Romeo. Your task is going to be to read and reread the soliloquy, looking for places where Juliet expresses different perspectives on the same topic. In week 9, you're going to think a little bit more broadly. How do Romeo and Juliet's relationship affect not only Romeo and Juliet, but also their wider community? In week 9, you're going to edit for understanding and cut Romeo and Juliet, Act 5, Scene 3, so that your scene really conveys your interpretation and understanding of Romeo and Juliet's relationship. As a reminder, you will be most successful on your final assignments when you read and reread the scenes under study. Remember that on the Folger Digital Text website, there's a free audio version of Romeo and Juliet in its entirety. When you click on the link in your distance learning packet or type the URL in your web browser, you'll be taken to the Folger Shakespeare Library's webpage. When you click into Romeo and Juliet, you'll see a notice that says, listen to a free audio recording of Romeo and Juliet through July 1st, 2020. We recommend that if you select this option, that you have the text in front of you as you listen. To help you stay organized, there's a task list for each assignment each day of the week. Above the task list are goals for each day. It's important to note that the warm-ups and the objective summaries and the evidence collection charts all build your understanding and your knowledge to be able to successfully complete the essay at the end of the week. So spend time making sure that you understand those assignments and that you give them the correct amount of time so that you're able to understand the text and understand the future task. The final assignment for week 8 is to analyze, after you've chunked the soliloquy from Romeo and Juliet 4.3 by competing voices, and argue why your labels best describe Juliet's character. The goal here is to begin to understand Juliet as a complex character, not as one who has only one dimension. In week 9, you will cut Act 5, Scene 3 from Romeo and Juliet, you'll perform it, then you're going to write an essay that argues for the most important consequence of Romeo and Juliet's love. It might be a consequence for Romeo, might be a consequence for Juliet, might be a consequence for their entire family. And remember that consequences are not always negative. They are just the result of previous action and choices. In your response, you're going to explain how editing and performing scenes throughout the unit shaped your understanding of Romeo and Juliet's relationship and its effect on their community. Both of these assignments relate again to our essential question, which is, how can performing Romeo and Juliet, how can actually speaking and wrestling and challenging Shakespeare's language help us make meaning for ourselves in the 21st century?